Yeah, I would just add that to your earlier point, it used to be thought if I said I work at a bank, the automatic assumption is, oh, are you a teller?
Right.
Because that's just what you think about when you think about banking. But I've held various roles from a small business banker to cash management or treasury management for Fortune 500 companies to now serving in the Gaston County community as a commercial relationship manager. So that just kind of gives you a flavor of my sort of career progression. And to John's point, banks have really started to act and look and feel like technology companies. So any of you out there that are interested in data science, the banks are hiring data scientists all the time to take advantage of that data, and they're really looking for individuals with that skill set. So really, the sky's the limit in a bank.
Yeah, I mean, you also look at, Nikki, there's opportunity. We have to brand the banks, right? The bank has to be branded. So there's marketing opportunities, there's branding opportunities, there's, videography opportunities. There's lots of different opportunities within the organization. I think probably one of the most important things off and on in my career, I've been part of what they've called the intern offer committees at some of the bigger banks. And one of the biggest intangibles, there's a couple, but one is as eighth graders, you coming up, the important thing is I urge you, when you meet people, show respect, stand up, shake their hand, make eye contact. There are so many people in the business world today that do not do that. Those are intangibles. I have been telling children in the eighth grade for the last 7-8 years when I meet with them that if you can do that, you stand above many people just being able to do that. Thank people. And probably the most important thing is people have a career path in mind. They want to grow, but they're not willing to be flexible. And I think in the new world, sometimes you need to be flexible and you need to be willing to say, okay, maybe this isn't the perfect role for me this next couple years, but I'm going to grow in this role. The banks will often let you do just about anything you want after a couple years of growing and learning and going through programs. So it's important. If you do the two things is to be respectful, make that eye contact. You could practice that at home tonight with your parents or family. You can go home and make that eye contact. See, you might wow your parents and when you're shaking their hand and it might wow them tonight. And then think about flexibility. Sometimes the world's pretty rigid and it's an I world. So you have to think about not always the I, it's all of us. So briefly, I'm going to flip this over to Nikki here in a second because she has a lot of expertise in the treasury management field, which you don't know what that is, but we're going to tell you briefly about that. But having that expertise and knowing how to use a calculator, knowing how to use a computer, knowing how to use Excel, Google Docs, some of the stuff you're dealing with today, I'm going to tell you what, there are professionals in the world today that have been in banking 15, 20 years can't do some of the stuff that you can do in eighth grade. And you're invaluable. You're learning things at a much faster rate. You're learning to be functional with some of the stuff that there's a bigger learning curve people that have been in the industry. Nikki, what else do you think you need to know as far as on the treasury management side, or what else other programming maybe you need to know?
Yeah, I think you covered a lot of them, being able to really use a computer well in all of the various Microsoft programs, and let's see where that goes next, right? Because technology is always changing, and to your point about being flexible and nimble and really, growing as the bank grows or as client needs change, you really have to be sort of flexible and pivot your skill set to that. And I would say from a treasury management perspective, so treasury management is really the management of cash going in, cash going out, and really understanding how all of that works, and really sort of listening to your customers and what your customers are looking for from a skill set perspective. I personally, hold my MBA and certified treasury planner certification because that's meaningful to the customers that we're calling on, because it's a credential that demonstrates that I understand you as a business, I understand how you want your cash to work for you and how we can make the bank technologies and services work for you.
What's really important to understand, I think you're spot on, Nikki, but what's important, if you've ever heard the term fintech, financial technology companies, we don't know what the new technology is going to be. We don't know what the new software program is. We don't know, today we talk about AI, artificial intelligence. cognitive AI that gets smarter the more it learns from itself. We're doing things today that we've never done in banking before to be more efficient and to help customers in a better way. That it's a smart technology. So, if you're really into IT and software and programming, there's an opportunity in the banking world for you, whether it's for a direct job or a consulting job. There's certainly an opportunity for you.